Countdown to the playoffs has started. And for the Cubs, it's all about getting the team ready for the postseason in a matchup that looks like will be the Cubs and the very talented San Diego Padres. Today, though, we're going to talk about Cade Horton, Cubs Rookie of the Year candidate, who I think is going to win the award. How many Cubs have won the Rookie of the Year? And who is his chief competitor for the NL Rookie of the Year? We're going to get into that here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Get in the comments section, make fun of the Cardinals, do whatever. But let's have a good time today. Let's talk a little bit about the Cubs rookie phenom pitcher who is really reshaping the Cubs rotation heading into the postseason. Hey, say everybody, Mick Nation, Cubs Baseball channel, and it is a pleasure to see you guys today, or you see me, and me thank you for being here as we talk about the Cubs. Now, the celebration has taken place, right? The Cubs won the wild card spot. Now they're going to try to win the top wild card spot. I don't know if they can catch the Brewers, and I'm going to go back to it again. That last game in that 5-game series at Wrigley, when the Cubs put out that lineup where you're going, what are we doing? And then they don't score any runs and they lose. It's the difference between having a competitive race down the stretch and not. That game right there, and they say, you know, all the games are the same, 162. That one meant more because it was a 2-game swing. Right now, we have a race, and it would have been I don't know if the Cubs would have caught them, but it would have put some pressure on Milwaukee. Them winning that ball game is, to me, the reason why they're going to win the division. I think if the Cubs win that, I don't know if they do win, but I think that they could have put a lot more pressure on them. Sometimes these lineups keep you shaking your head, but hopefully they get it all figured out by the time the postseason comes. Now, one thing that they did figure out, and they deserve a lot of credit for, was the drafting and developing of Cade Horton, now the favorite to win the NL Rookie of the Year. And every time I look at it, his odds get better, and Drake Baldwin, who is the Atlanta Braves catcher, kind of a hit-first backstop, get worse, right? Now it's a tight race. It isn't a runaway like Nick Kurtz in the American League, who hit 4 home runs in a game and has been just phenomenal for the Oakland A's, but it's turning into that. Cade Horton has a couple of things going his way that I think are going to make the difference in this. First off, he has been the best pitcher in baseball since the All-Star break. And these awards a lot of times are predicated on not only your win-loss record and your stats, but also the stuff that you remember, like the 29 straight innings without allowing a run, right? The records, going head-to-head against Paul Skeens, who is one of the young guns in baseball, and winning those games. And since July 9th, Horton has a .93 ERA and 11 starts. That's since the All-Star break. And what's crazy is this is another one of those marks. It's the lowest second-half mark since 2019 when Jack Flannery, you remember him, went .91 ERA. So, Drake Baldwin is a guy batting like 266, 16 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Isaac Collins of the Brewers, kind of a longer shot, but hitting 270 with 9 home runs and 54 batted in. I feel like that this is a slam dunk for Cade Horton. He's got I think maybe 2 more starts left, depending on how the Cubs want to line up the pitching. And that could be one. And if they decide that they want him to start in the postseason, they may say, hey, you know what, we're going to save the innings, just get you a little bit of work and get out there. But it's just really phenomenal to see all the things that he has been able to do, right? The slider is incredible. The fastball works. I told you guys from the beginning, he pitches like he's angry. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's a competitor. He pitches like a football player plays football, right? But what's been really fun to watch is how he has developed his secondary pitches. The curveball, which was good, and has gotten better, and the changeup, which he didn't use a whole lot, has gotten better too. We haven't seen him a whole lot the third time through the lineup, and I don't know that that's going to change at all in the postseason. Probably even the best pitchers in baseball see less pitches during the postseason, just because the stats tell us, the analytics, that second time through the lineup, batters have a better chance. Third time through the lineup, they have a much better chance to have success. And so the trend in baseball around the game has been get guys out of the game early in these postseason games. Now, do you think that Cade Horton is going to get the start in the game one of the playoffs? I don't know. There's an argument for him. I mean, he's been the Cubs' most dominant pitcher since Jake Arrieta. Arrieta came over in that trade from Baltimore and had experience. Another highly touted guy, another first-round pick, but went through failures and then, obviously successes. And he'll go down as one of the greats of all time for the Cubs, Cy Young Award winner, World Series champion. I don't know if you're the Cubs, though, that you could put your rotation together and not have him pitch one of the first two games. You got to guarantee him a start, in my mind, in the postseason. And the arguments, well, it's like if you pitch game one, then all the pressure you have going into that first game on you, hey, look, it should be just another game. This kid, though, has, throughout his career, thrived on pressure. It's just such a different prospect than when the Cubs had Kyle Hendricks, who was another huge success, come up through their system after they traded to get him from Texas. This guy drafted, dealt with injuries, but when he's been healthy, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Matthew Boyd hasn't been good lately, but has a track record of success in the postseason. Which one do you worry about? The lack of success lately or the success he had at the beginning of the year? Could the Cubs go? I think you go Shota Imanaga game one and then Cade Horton game two, and then you either go Boyd or Tyone game three. That'd be me. But I'm sure there's other parts of this too. Who matches up best with the Padres? And that's something that the Cubs analytic team's working on right now. And that could be it too. You look like, hey, we feel like this guy would be better against this lineup. And I think that's part of it as well. So all of those things kind of leading into Cubs having their next rookie of the year and someone that I think deserves it. Now, the Cubs, since the rookie of the year started, have just over a handful of guys that have won the award. Billy Williams, our friend Billy Williams, in 1961. The very next year, Ken Hubbs came and won it for the Cubs, so 61 and 62. And then it wasn't until Jerome Walton in 1989, and he was a rookie, had that long hitting streak, one of my all-time favorite Cubs teams. He was one of my all-time favorite Cubs. Boy, he was so much fun to watch back then. Kerry Wood won it in 1998, and I put this guy right now in that same category. I've done that since I saw him in the minor leagues for the first time. He's a Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor type of talent. He's a once in every generation or two generations guy, and I put him in there. Giovanni Soto, remember the catcher winning it in 2008? Career kind of fizzled out, but he had a fantastic season. And then KB won it in 2015. And when Chris Bryant was coming up, everything that you saw just said, hey, this is a future Hall of Famer. And it's been a shame to watch the injuries have stacked up. And then his career's kind of fizzled off in Colorado. But boy, I love Chris Bryant. I love watching him play, all the home runs. The way that he played the game and showed up every day, man, he was a special talent. So I'm thinking that that Cade Horton's the next guy that's going to win this award, and Vegas is kind of saying the same thing. Odds right now, Horton the favorite to win, anywhere from minus 175 to minus 275. I think you could even see it minus in the 311. I think I saw 325 in a sports book. And Drake Baldwin, who's the only guy really within sight, unless something crazy happens between now and the last week and a half of the season, is now at one point he was minus 150. I think he's at plus 135 to plus 210. So the gap's widening, and I think it helps Horton that the Cubs made the playoffs. Like you want to give these guys that help the team win the awards. What does it mean in the grand scheme of things, right? Because I know a lot of you guys are going, who cares? We want to win. And that kind of leads me into this right here. We love winning. You love winning. And that's why I have you guys hooked up right there. Hit that QR code right there by the microphone and join Mick Nation. That's my Web3 home, AveD, where we're giving away. We play games. It's all free stuff, right? Get on there, pick the Cubs game, pick other stuff, and then we have weekly winners. We're giving away tickets to the playoffs at Wrigley. So we've been telling you this. Now it's time to do it. We'll find out who the opponent's going to be, what game we have tickets for, because we're working on that right now. But make sure that you guys sign up for that. And look, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's a team game. But the individual awards show the strength of an individual player. Baseball is a team game, but the individual stats matter. We love them. We appreciate Chris Bryant. We appreciate Billy Williams, and you talk about these guys. Whether you win the Cy Young like Jake Arrieta or the MVP like Chris Bryant or Ryan Sandberg, it all goes down to the strength of a particular player that we love and them earning more money on their salary. Not that they need more, but you know what? When you're a rookie, you certainly do. And then, obviously them being rewarded for going out there and busting their ass. And that's what I love the most about Cade Horton, is that the guy has come in and he has given it 110% every single time out there. And I think this team kind of follows suit too. So that's the show for today. Cubs and Reds continues. We're just keeping an eye on all the games around baseball. And we will talk to you soon. If something breaks, we'll jump on here and talk about it. We're keeping an eye out for a bunch of stuff right now, as well as the Cubs try to get healthy and play some postseason baseball. Show's brought to you by our friends in Sevierville. That's the Smoky Mountains, fourth most, and they're saying sometimes the third most amount of people that come to the Smokies come from Chicagoland in our audience. So they wanted to tell you to come on down for the holidays.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.